Dan Willis here, and we're talking about Capital Recovery Systems, a third-party collection agency. Are you getting constant phone calls from Capital Recovery Systems? How about letters demanding payment? Or maybe you've discovered a collection on your credit reports. If so, you're in the right place. Capital Recovery Systems is a third-party debt collector. They're located in Columbus, Ohio, and were originally founded in 1997. They work exclusively to collect local government fines, such as delinquent court cases, parking tickets, and taxes. Our purpose here is to share precisely how to deal with debt collectors, along with your rights as a consumer, including how to exercise these rights to protect yourself, your pocketbook, and your creditworthiness. The first item of note is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, Fdcpa. This is federal legislation passed by Congress with the intention of regulating the debt collection industry. In other words, it's the rules. It clearly says what time of day debt collectors are allowed to contact you, what they can say, who they can talk to about your alleged debt, and much more. It's worth your detailed review at your convenience. Further, it requires debt collectors to be honest, upfront, and straightforward, along with giving you the respect and dignity every human being deserves. And yes, the FDCPA is violated just about as often as our drug laws. And if you'd like some help, you can get a free credit report consultation by calling toll-free 1-844-517-7627. Now, does paying Capital Recovery Systems improve your credit score? For many folks, their main priority is, does paying collections improve your credit score? Naturally, and you'd think so. But as of this video, no, it won't. And moving forward, no, it won't. You see, if all you do is pay collection debt and nothing more, the only thing that'll change is the status of that collection on your credit report. It'll go from an unpaid collection to a paid collection. This is a negative item, very likely to lower your credit score. It's certainly not going to rebuild your credit. Further, Equifax even says, and we quote, "Collection accounts will remain on your Equifax credit report for up to 7 years, even if paid." In an Experian article, they say, and we quote, "Consumers with collections on their credit reports are likely to have lower credit scores than consumers who have no collections. In addition to the potential impact to your credit scores, the presence of collections also can influence lender decisions," end quote. Whereas FICO says, and again we quote, "The fact that you have collections listed on your credit report will almost certainly lower your FICO score." And they go on to say, as far as your FICO score is concerned, two things are considered: has a collection appeared on your credit report and when it was reported. So whether or not you pay your collections off is really a personal decision. And if you'd like to see these quotes fully sourced, we're going to include a link over to an article on our website. We have those links fully sourced along over to the article there. We also have a free report available there, the 7 proven ways to boost your credit score. Of course, visit and grab your free copy. Now let's talk about, if your objective is actually raising your credit score, we must remove this collection mark entirely from your credit reports. And this is a very realistic goal because every year, millions of collection marks are removed from consumer credit reports. And for some folks, in full disclosure, they may find it easiest and most effective to a clean credit report by actually paying this collection debt, but it's essential to perform the necessary due diligence, which we'll be covering here in this video and the next one coming up. So of course, subscribe and join our congregation. Now let's talk about Capital Recovery Systems collection tools. Now, besides the continuous phone calls, letters, and negative information on your credit reports, it's likely your total account balance will be inflated. Legally, capital recovery systems can charge your account with sky-high interest fees, and believe it or not, this is in addition to collection fees. Depending on the size of your debt, these fees can be substantial. According to their Capital Recovery Systems official website, they'll work with any court in a state that has a, quote, statute allowing the addition of a collection fee when sending a case to collect. And let us repeat that just to make sure you fully hear that. A statute allowing the addition of a collection fee when sending a case to collections. It sounds like they almost insist upon being able to charge a collection fee. Nevertheless, if they're unable to collect payment, they generally have two options. First, they can sell the rights to your debt to yet another debt collector. Now, this new debt collector will begin contacting you and reporting a collection on your credit reports. Alternatively, they can file a civil lawsuit, as in sue you. It doesn't appear that Capital Recovery System utilizes this method, but that's no guarantee. And too many consumers falsely believe if they just ignore debt collectors, they'll disappear like a warm spot in the pool. Debt collectors have the ability and many times do sue consumers. Some collection agencies even specialize in this collection method. Should this happen, you're supposed to be notified of your upcoming court case. The debt collector's goal is to win a judgment against you, because then they've really got you by the short and curlies. Depending on your state of residence, a judgment can result in wage garnishment, liens placed against you and or your property, and possibly even asset seizure. For full details, check out your local legislation, as every state has unique laws. Now let's talk about the necessary consumer due diligence, and our very first step is to request debt validation on our alleged account. This is your consumer right granted by the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. In essence, when we request debt validation, we're saying you first prove it, or asking for our original receipt if you prefer. After all, you didn't do any business directly with Capital Recovery Systems. They just showed up one day demanding payment. That you see, they're required to respond by providing you with the documents, evidence, and paperwork that does prove this is your account. This paperwork should clearly show you who the original lender or creditor was. In this case, that would likely be the local government or local court. Also, this paperwork should show you the dates of account activity, the total balance, and any other relevant account details. If they fail to validate your account for any reason, then you're no longer responsible for payment. Further, they're supposed to contact all 3 credit bureaus and have them get this collections mark off of your credit report. And if you'd like some help, you can get a free credit report consultation by calling toll-free 1-844-517-7627. Now, the second step, if your account is validated, we next need to review this paperwork in detail, because we're talking about the Statute of Limitations, and we're looking specifically for your last date of account activity. Listen, you're not legally responsible for repayment of most types of consumer debt forever. Typically, you're only legally responsible for payment for about 7 years, and this is according to state law called the Statute of Limitations. Now, this law does vary by state, so for full details, check out your local legislation. For residents of Ohio, where Capital Recovery Systems is headquartered, the statute of limitations is 6 years. This legal time window begins once the account becomes delinquent or from the date of the last payment, whichever occurred most recently. The statute of limitations time window applies to the vast majority of types of consumer debt, such as medical bills, credit cards, charge-offs, retail accounts, telecommunications, utilities, and many more. One of the only exceptions is federal student loans in default. Warning, yup, a warning. Debt collectors are notorious for re-aging consumer debt. This enables them to continue to attempt to collect payment despite the contract no longer remaining legally enforceable. And if you'd like some help, you can get a free credit report consultation by calling toll-free 1-844-517-7627. Again, that's for a free credit report consultation, and the toll-free phone number is 1-844-517-7627. This is Dan Willis. We're going to include a link in the description below over to an article on our website for the full story. We also have a free report available there, the 7 proven ways to boost your credit score. Of course, subscribe and join our congregation, because coming up next, we're going to be talking about how to pay capital recovery collections, and so it will help to improve your credit score. Have a wonderful day, and looking forward to talking to you again here soon.